Yes, that, were you able to do that email? Not previous to now, huh? Yeah. Oh, actually, we gotta review all of them. But, I got on the phone with one of with the changes. No, no, thank you. She said the commission.
You guys are right.
Yeah, so,
You're good.
Already?
so,
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Planning Committee. Today is office here at Perkins, 3 at the fourth floor. We're going to start by calling the meeting to order. Again, welcome everyone tuning in at home. Great for you to chime in with us this evening. And let's start with a roll call. Commissioner Antea Miller, myself is here. Commissioner Mason, here. And Commissioner Chura.
here,
Thank you. Okay, we're going to call for adoption of the agenda. We do have a couple of things to add to the Session 3 training, but we're going to call for adoption to it as we go through the agenda this evening.
I would like to present the training agenda with any additional training added to.
I second that. We both second that. All right. Reading decor. We're going to have a reading of the reading decor. Thank you to Jocelyn for getting this recording for us.
This meeting of the Cleveland Community Police Commission is a lawful meeting. Under Section 605.04 of the Codified Ordinances, no person with purpose to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting shall do any act which obstructs or interferes with the due conduct of such meeting. Members of the public are invited to speak in accordance with the public comment rules. Disruptions including but not limited to speaking out of turn and or making loud utterances that interferes with the due conduct of this lawful meeting may constitute a misdemeanor and a violation of Section 605.04. If this meeting is disrupted, the chairperson will call for recess and the room will be cleared. Persons who violate the city ordinances and commit misdemeanors may be subject to prosecution. When this body is able to return from recess, then in compliance with the Ohio Open Meeting Act and Section 101.02, one of the codified ordinances, the meeting will be open to the public.
All right, let's get right into our agenda. We're going to discuss the Session 3 training that was sent out and from Commander Hernandez for us to review. I would like to open this session on that on those items. Give me one moment. All right, we were asked to review the materials of Section 3, which is part of the CIT training. We basically gave feedback to Commander Hernandez in regards to that, and they did take those changes into consideration and provided a PowerPoint regarding officer wellness and PTSD. Anyone were you able to look at those? All right. Was there any discussion on those? You approve? You like the changes? All right. I did too. The PowerPoint was very informative and it connected things better than what we saw before. So great job for them. We're going to actually present this to the full commission next week for approval, along with the Session 3 CPOP training, which we approved our last training meeting with no changes, and then integrated reality-based training, which was also Session 3, and we gave recommendations to move forward with those two. The feedback that we did submit for the CIT, again, they took in consideration and made those changes. All right, next item would be the CPD 2025 training needs assessment. Was anyone able to look at that one? Yeah, so when we were on the phone with the commander, she basically said we have to approve that, which was new. So those were included. If we're not, we can just table that and discuss it more when we get out our full commission, because it needs to be approved as soon as possible so they can start working on the 25, 20, 28, 20, 26, 28 assessment meetings. And then there was a healing and recovery, which was like a podcast. It was 35 minutes, and it was a YouTube where actually review that, and that basically enhances the CIT training. Yeah, so I thought it was a great addition to that. Do you have any concerns or comments for you at this time? Okay. All right. So basically, those are the. You didn't miss it. You didn't miss it because we already went for it. It was the CIT. Yes, ma'am. So what we're going to do is present all those four things at the full commission, because they are waiting for approval so they can move forward. The monitoring team also, while we were looking at it, they were also looking at it as well. And Commander Hernandez, she actually gave us the feedback, okay, that they gave, and then they incorporated both our feedback and the monitoring team. Now we have to get this finalized because they have to get it to the DOJ, and they can't move forward to the DOJ without our approval. Okay, so let's move on to the next item. Everyone good? Okay, I see you looking at the reality. Okay. So we have next agenda item is the committee recommendation for the 25 CPC 1001. Would someone from the with our executive director or someone from the committee like to get us up to date, even though I know a little bit about it, just just a background?
But real quick, before moving onward, I didn't know whether the committee wanted to vote to move the training materials in front of it in order to advance the full commission, or we can move to the assessment and present that, and then revisit the training materials. It's up to the chair's discretion.
Honestly, I would like to move it forward, so that way they can move along.
I mean, all the training, accountability. I'm not sure what that's about.
So okay, we're gonna finish the session 3. So yes, we could. Would someone like to put a motion on the table to approve this all the session 3? All the session 3, and what else is there?
And the needs
assessment and the YouTube.
Can we just say session 3, the CPOP, the integrated reality? Or you want me to go through it all, or you want to just say all the sections with the addition?
With the
Okay. I'd like to put on. I'd like to put out for approval session 3, CPOP training, and all the additional trainings that were sent to us under section 3.
I second that.
Perfect. And then call the vote.
All right, thank you. So we'll vote. Com- Commissioner Mason
Aye.
and Commissioner Sure.
Aye.
All right, so we're going to be moving section 3 training, what it entails, along with 2025, and the YouTube video that they want to leave alone, and their recovery. We we voted for it through commission, votes to move forward, so they can start training our officers.
Through the chair, just a point of clarification. The 2025 needs assessment was not part of the session, is my understanding. It's separate. Okay. I think the motion included the additional materials such as the YouTube videos. I don't know if the motion included a separate approval for 2025 needs assessment. But just to ensure that protocol is followed, I would recommend a separate motion to approve the 2025 needs assessment to then move that separately to the full commission.
All right, can someone put a motion for the 2025 needs assessment to move forward to the full commission?
I recommend that we forward the 2025 needs assessment to the full commission.
Seconded.
All right, so we'll vote for a vote. I vote yes. Commissioner Mason?
Yes.
Commissioner Sure.
Yes.
All right, so those two things are moving forward. It's the needs assessment in addition to the session 3 with the video, everything that needs to go move forward for the session 3 training. Is that okay now? Perfect. Okay, thank you. I appreciate your assistance in that. All right, so now let's go back to the accountability committee recommendations.
Certainly, I can a brief overview of this. Back when I presented the case package CPC 1 to the accountability committee on July 31st, 2025, the accountability committee made 2 recommendations, one of which then resulted in this committee's decision. So the first recommendation was not placed and pursue an appeal based upon the CRB's finding. However, based upon a special concern found within the case package and as determined by the accountability committee, Commissioner Chura, I believe, moved to recommend that the training committee review that special concern and determine how to proceed with that. Just as a sort of a reminder, the matter that the accountability committee determined to have this committee review was a potential Miranda violation, and the administrative policies that flow from the Miranda rights.
For discussion, if that's okay. Can you? I don't have the background in what you have,
Sure.
you too, the expertise. So please, just
It was a search warrant. The owner of the home made some complaints against it through OPS. Some of that unfounded. Not basically right to search warrant and everything else. However, there was stuff on the video. I was not able to. People had one of the detectives keeps questioning the female after he advised her of Miranda rights. And it was like there's no bright line timeline on how long you have to wait again. So, but just to make sure that doesn't happen again or make any possibility of a legal search procedure, we just figured we have that come in or in the training of the whole police division. So if someone says they don't want to talk to you, stop talking. That's what we want to have the training.
okay. Or spell out how long in between the question should be. Okay. Is this a subject that we just take to Commander Hernandez? How
Yes,
do
we
go?
send it back to them. I would think we send it back. Probably most likely be like the in-service.
Yes, it'd be like, I believe it'd be held in service. So everyone that goes through in service would be, violation, how to avoid it.
I think, through the chair, it's important to note that the issue arose, I believe, back in 2020. I don't know what the training looked like back at that time. So I think sort of the first level of review that this committee can decide to do is request that somebody from sort of the training division provide a presentation to this committee to determine if how officers are now trained on Miranda and if that satisfies this committee's charge. If it doesn't, then I think it would be up to this committee to sort of formulate or reformulate training to then propose to the full commission with the hopes that CDP would then implement that training.
One other thing, I think they come up with the necessarily have to train everybody in service. They can put out a departmental notice saying that this is a problem or potential problem. This should be avoided. One or the other guys will goes along with it. We'll be on the same page.
In a memo or something.
This is something that is actually done through the academy, so whatever they
They would put out a departmental notice on it, so everybody knows it.
And then make sure that it's done correctly at the academy level
Right.
moving forward. That makes sense. All right, do we have to put a motion for this? To move forward to the full commission, since it was bounced back to us from accountability, I believe it was. Do we have to put a motion out there, Director?
I'm sorry, I missed sort of what was on the table, what was being proposed.
About the Miranda rights, how it's proposed and how it's done and how to implement the changes. So do we take it to the full commission? Do we go for the commission so that we can vote on or just, since it was to us from the accountability, do we just act on it?
when we send back to the CPC training committee and ask them to provide whatever the process would be, and then at that point they would send it to us. At that point, we would review it, and if it's acceptable, then we would say send it to the body. That's
Yeah, I think that sort of closes the loop on that to ensure that the training provided with what the CPC wants.
All right, thank you for that. All right, so I will be reaching out to Commander Hernandez to see to handle this, see about what the process is now. And then if this it has not changed since 2020, we can request a presentation to the committee. That sounds good. All right. So commissioners, professional development and training and simulation. We do not have any dates for the, so we had basically opened it up for all commissioners to be able to go to the stimulation police academy, and they go through different stimulations and little scenarios, being out in the actual real world scenarios. And I think only 5 commissioners have responded, which is optional and it's okay. So I'm requesting for different dates, maybe in the future. So maybe we can try another set of dates in the spring. But right now, we have applied for the second option. So we're going to move. We can't move forward. We actually need to take this to the, once I speak with the young man, Miguel, then we need to take this to the budget because I believe we have to go there for approval.
How much is? I wasn't aware.
He didn't give us anything because he wanted to know the full picture. He thought that all 13 commissioners plus were, so since everyone's not participating, it won't be as much as, as we anticipated it to be.
of course, did you send it to the staff?
Yes, they're in there too. I'll give it everyone.
And my apologies, I thought it was sort of a volunteer sort of.
Yeah, I said it's volunteer.
I'm sorry, I thought that the training was clear.
Oh.
just, I gotta find a good date that's gonna work for me, but
That is
is it per person or is it like for this whole session? I mean, how, we don't
it's a
know until we.
group price. Yeah, we basically was looking at 15 people. We're only down to 5, so I'm sure that's gonna cut it down tremendously. So I'm gonna get those numbers from Yale, and then we'll be able to move forward.
And what was the price? What was the price?
Oh, Elijah. I'm glad you said that's why I called that man.
And, what was the price quoted for 15?
They didn't give us any price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, I don't have information there. All of us going through you.
So I'll send you his, you got his phone number.
Right, I got his cell phone number.
If you could provide me a sort of an expected invoice or something per person would be acceptable. That way I can ensure that, you know, the budget, yeah.
Yeah, and then we probably need to put a full commissioner vote on it anyway, if the money part, okay?
If it's over 5, then go to the grants.
That's what I said.
It ain't gonna be 2 5. Cause I took my whole department and I think I paid $1,800 for, and that was 4 hours. We did 2 days, so
Your whole department.
took all my office.
See?
Everybody.
All right. So we'll get that to the executive director to make sure that we have the funds for that. Do we want to have any future topics, like anything we can bring to the table for our agendas? Because right now we are working with Commander Hernandez on a schedule to see exactly where these trainings we are for the next training that needs to be reviewed. Alex, our executive director, he created a form that they basically have to fill out when they submit the need for the training to be reviewed by us. And it's going to say basically what the training is, the outcome, the learning measures, and just a little background on what that training is. So that way we can move forward and process and when the due date. So any other topics of discussion, May? Do you have that you think that this committee could?
I reached out to Commander Hernandez, want to see if we could get, there's currently a academy class in there, and we can get their full schedule, and then if the commissioner would like to observe the training, perhaps everybody has their different little niche, whatever it may be, a lot of mental health people, so maybe just they can go and observe, just give their, I asked her if we could give some advance notice, and so nobody's quite surprised with just not participating, just watch how they instruct the officers.
It's a great idea. Thank you. And just once you get that information, you can share it with us from Commander Hernandez.
Cheers.
Yes.
During our last meeting at the accountability, when we were over at the other building, one of the things that some of the residents were saying, they would like to have training, and I was thinking maybe a citizen academy. We haven't had one in a while within the city that I know of. So maybe that would be something that we can incorporate or talk to Cleveland about.
I believe we touched on that before. We were at when we went to go visit. Okay.
They used to have that years ago. Actually, my father went to it at one point, and everybody I went to it had good reviews on that. I wasn't aware that they terminated that, but it's a great thing to have, every 6 months or whatever it might be.
So is it every week different topics or every month a different topic?
It's like you go through the academy, but then it's more suited for the residents.
Oh, okay.
And they give them topics like, I know when we did ours, we did one for business, not for residents. They will, it's a watered down version of some of the things that the topics that they talk about at the academy. They get to do the drive.
Oh, that's the drive along?
And I don't know if they did it, but we simulated. Tried to get a simulator, so we brought it out, and they went to. They were also able to do the range, different stuff. So just kind of give them an idea of citizen, what police officers go through and just give them a little hands-on taste of the academy.
Okay. That may even spark their interest in want to join the academy. You never
Yeah.
know. May give us a nice job opportunity. So is this a cost to, is free to this community?
It's free for the community, but I don't know what we
We don't have to split the cost. Okay. May have to split the cost. Okay. All right. Any other suggestions? I'm not. So yeah, not at this point, but I am looking for other opportunities to, collaborate. See what efforts we can collaborate on and tackle together. Okay. All right. Yes.
I know that in previous years with gym, we used to do like I think work conversation with Senator Hernandez about maybe starting up again sort of the community events that we were doing. So the first few years, what we did was we did it with the use of reality-based training. So we basically coordinated. It was Commander Magoo at the time, who was head of the division, and we basically worked together with them to figure out what were some of like their interactive reality-based trainings that they basically do in front of the public, and then you kind of have it as a community forum, and then the citizens that they would get to give like feedback on the training after they, and there was kind of like a discussion about it. I think the original plan that we were going to do it all kind of at the end, we did end up happening was that there was time for like a mini like debrief session after like each training. So depending on the size of it, I think it wasn't as large as we wanted it to be, so we kind of adjusted. But the idea was that there would be about 3 training scenarios that were set up, and we worked with groups that the police did most of the work on it because they had to get the training together and get the officers, their time and their schedule. But the idea was that if we could get it large enough that we would have people rotate to different sessions and have a discussion at the end. But because it was smaller, we ended up doing like whole group debriefs after each one. But that seemed to be a good community fit. And you're the lead now, so I would like to continue those. But I think maybe have a conversation with her about that.
So what was the cost of that?
What we did was we had it we had it here at Morgan High School. So all it's required is you just have to submit for like a permit to have the building open because it'll be after school hours, and then once I think there's like a month, like give like a week's notice or something like that,
Okay.
and then like we did the school, and then we were able like we have to talk about the refreshments and all that stuff. We had some stuff, but there's a particular way that we have to move when it comes to buying like food and stuff like that.
Okay. And the police department brought the stimulations to the school and all everything they need. Okay. No cost on the police department. Just trying to.
Yes, it was. I thought it was really good, and
Okay.
then we did East Side. And
I was just thinking we could do an East level.
No, we had we were a couple weeks before Christmas, so people were like, on that.
Yeah.
And then there was something in the spring when we did it. There was some kind of big event going on. But,
So be very
yes, we have to like kind of try to see what there's not much going on.
be strategic about it all. Okay. All right. Got some great ideas. So to recap the ideas that we heard, basically, the Citizens Academy, which requires we're inviting citizens or residents to be like a community police academy so they can see what the officers endure. Let me see. Training academy. We talked about the training academy as well. And my own handwriting, sorry. And then basically the mini events that we would have for the public, for us, and we're thinking some other trainings for them. And then what was that one permit for the school? What was that name? I just want to know how
It was just what we call it, community. reality-based training.
So we'll do a community bid
Yeah.
stipulation or something like that.
Based on actual method.
I just want to know how to present it to, what to call it when I present it to Commander Hernandez. All right, so we have some great things that we can start looking at and moving forward with and getting the community involved. Do you know if they still have that rated rad program? Oh, that, I was a little girl then. They still have that?
It's the bread it's for
I don't think we ever had anything like that that I'm aware of.
because I used to teach it, and I know Cleveland started community policing.
We just don't remember.
Maybe I can ask her.
If they-
Yeah. Okay.
They still have it.
Awesome.
Because when I said that, I was the media today, and they were one of the topics they were talking about bringing in, the military for Cleveland.
I saw
Since
that.
we're so,
I
bad.
saw that.
And one of the things that was the numbers. So I just thought about, having that class. It's a class for women. It could be for anybody. But most of that is a class that they teach women on how to defend. Not just that they're going to be the karate people out in the street, but just how to fight. And so just thought that would be good. Since we're going into the fall.
Okay, thank you. What about domestic violence? Is there any program to help fight for domestic violence?
We
No,
can
we-
have come out.
38, the whole facility there.
Okay. All right.
And I was just saying because of the weather, the season is changing, the time is getting dark. So, think of some safety things, maybe some safety talks that we can provide or do.
Being aware of surroundings and that type of thing. Okay. All right, is there any other discussion or anything that we want to go back to and discuss or? We're good.
I think that covers it.
All right, so thank you everyone for coming. Sorry it was a short meeting, but we got straight to business and laid everything out, and we'll see you our next commission meeting, which is next Wednesday, September 24th. All right, yes. All right, and where would the location? Someone help me out. Oh, it's going to be here. We'll see you here next week, next Wednesday. All right, thank you.